China's Hainan, an island province dependent on tourism, has locked down more areas as it battles its worst COVID-19 outbreak after seeing very few cases the past 2 years compared with many other regions in the country. The provincial capital city of Haikou, with about 2.9 million residents, and two smaller towns, Ledong and Chiangmai, locked down its residents on Monday, according to state media reports. At least 8 cities and towns, with a combined population of about 7 million, said their residents must not leave where they live except for necessary reasons such as grocery shopping or essential job roles. They also suspended public transport services. The measures will stay in place for varying periods, with the shortest scheduled for a few hours, state media reports show. About 25,000 tourists are stranded in Sanya, the hardest-hit city in Hainan's outbreak and the island's key tourist hub, as of Sunday. Authorities declared Hainan's beach resort city Sanya a COVID-19 hotspot on Saturday and imposed a lockdown, confining Chinese citizens and expatriates to their hotels.
The decision comes after Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments formally asked for the artifacts to be returned earlier this year following a consultation with community members, artists and schoolchildren in Nigeria and the UK. A London museum has agreed to return a collection of Benin bronzes looted in the late 19th century from what is now Nigeria as cultural institutions throughout Britain come under pressure to repatriate artifacts acquired during the colonial era. The Horniman Museum and Gardens in southeast London said on Sunday that it would transfer a collection of 72 items to the Nigerian government. The decision comes after Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments formally asked for the artifacts to be returned earlier this year and following a consultation with community members, artists and schoolchildren in Nigeria and the UK, the museum said. The evidence is very clear that these objects were acquired through force, and external consultation supported our view that it is both moral and appropriate to return their ownership to Nigeria, Eve Salomon, chair of the museum's board of trustees, said in a statement. The Horniman is pleased to be able to take this step, and we look forward to working with the NCMM to secure longer-term care for these precious artifacts. The Horniman's collection is a small part of the 3,000 to 5,000 artifacts taken from the Kingdom of Benin in 1897 when British soldiers attacked and occupied Benin City as Britain expanded its political and commercial influence in West Africa. The British Museum alone holds more than 900 objects from Benin, and National Museums Scotland has another 74. Others were distributed to museums around the world. The artifacts include plaques, animal and human figures, and items of royal regalia made from brass and bronze by artists working for the Royal Court of Benin. The general term Benin bronzes is sometimes applied to items made from ivory, coral, wood and other materials as well as the metal sculptures. Countries including Nigeria, Egypt and Greece, as well indigenous peoples from North America to Australia, are increasingly demanding the return of artifacts and human remains amid a global reassessment of colonialism and the exploitation of local populations.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani said on Monday that the insulting move is a blatant example of seditious acts and spreading hatred, which is categorically condemned by all Muslims, monotheists, purified consciousness and believers in coexistence and dialogue among religions. Warning about risky repercussions of such immoral acts, the spokesman noted that this kind of sacrilege against the Islamic sanctities is another aspect of extremism and violence based on takfiri and Daesh ways of thinking. Preventive and strong measures are among responsibilities of governments who claim they are defending human rights, freedom and democracy, he added. The Iranian diplomat held the German government accountable in dealing with such regretful event, underlining that the Islamic Republic of Iran is waiting for instant, harsh and clear reaction by Germany in encountering elements who committed such desecrating acts, and Iranians want to see immediate judicial proceeding in order to avoid repetition of such moves. The seditious acts, which are aided and abetted by the global arrogance and Zionism, show that Muslims and Islamic states should enhance unity in the face of enemies' plots.
Mordad 17th is a reminder of bitter memories that were imposed on the foreign policy apparatus and nation of Iran in 1998. 24 years ago, amid civil conflicts in Afghanistan and upon Taliban forces' arrival into Mazar-i Sharif, Some Iranian diplomats and a correspondent of IRNA were martyred in contradiction to moral, humanitarian and international commitments. Vast condemnation by international community as well as the noble people of Afghanistan indicated brilliant instances of unity between Afghan and Iranian nations, promoting the Islamic Republic of Iran to show self-restraint and act based on interests of both nations, standing with Afghan brothers and sisters. The Iranian government and people have always stood with the oppressed nation of Afghanistan, and supported any solution, which can end up in peace, stability and tranquility in favor of Afghan people, who have fought foreign invasion for years. As experience shows, formation of a government consisting of all Afghan elite, representing all tribes and ideologies can pave the way for development, progress and improvement of the nation's capability in facing pressures and sanctions imposed by the West. The Iranian Foreign Ministry recalls the memories of martyrs of the siege of the Iranian consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif, condemning the unforgettable crime, and underlining the need for clarifying aspects of the criminal act. On August 8, 1998, some Iranian diplomats and Mahmoud Saremi, a correspondent from Islamic Republic news agency, were attacked at the Iranian consulate and martyred.
Outlawed Tariq-e-Taliban Pakistan's TTP senior commander Omar Khalid Khorasani has been killed in the Paktika province of Afghanistan, Geo News reported Monday, citing sources. According to the sources, along with Omar Khalid Khorasani, 2 more senior commanders of the banned organization were also killed. Hafiz Dawlat and Commander Mufti Hassan are among the dead.
Police in New Mexico has asked for the public's help in locating a vehicle of interest in their probe of 4 fatal shootings of Muslim men whose slayings in Albuquerque over the past 9 months are believed by investigators to be related. Mayor Tim Keller said state authorities were working to provide an extra police presence at mosques during times of prayer, as the investigation proceeds in New Mexico's largest city, home to as many as 5,000 Muslims out of some 565,000 total residents. The latest victim, police said, was gunned down on Friday night, in a killing that local Islamic leaders said occurred shortly after he had attended funeral services for 2 others slain during the past couple of weeks. All 3 of those men, as well as the very first victim who was shot dead in November, were Muslim men of Pakistani or Afghan descent who resided in Albuquerque. Police have given few details of the latest murder but described the first 3 killings as ambush shootings. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has characterized them as targeted killings of Muslim residents. U.S. President Joe Biden posted a message on Twitter on Sunday expressing solidarity with the Muslim community, adding, "These hateful attacks have no place in America." Albuquerque police officials told a news conference hours later that they were following a number of leads and issued a bulletin with photos of a 4-door, dark gray Volkswagen sedan with tinted windows that they described as a vehicle of interest in the investigation. It was left unclear how the car was tied to the case, and police said they had yet to determine whether they were seeking one or more suspects in the investigation. The 3 latest victims belonged to the same mosque, according to Tahir Gorba, a spokesperson for the Islamic Center of New Mexico. Officials were withholding the identity of the man killed on Friday pending notification of next of kin. But Gorba said he was killed shortly after attending the funeral for the 2 previous victims. Muhammad Afzal Hussein, 27, a planning director for the city of Espanola who immigrated from Pakistan, was shot dead on August 1 outside his apartment complex, less than a week after Aftab Hussein, 41, from Albuquerque's large Afghan community, was found slain on July 26 near the city's International District, police said. Hussein also worked on the campaign team for U.S. Representative Melanie Stansbury of New Mexico. Police said they were treating those 2 slayings, along with Friday's killing, as linked to the November 7 murder of 62-year-old Muhammad Ahmadi, also a Muslim from Afghanistan, who was shot to death in a parking lot outside a halal supermarket and cafe. There are several things in common with all 4 of the homicides, city police spokesman Gilbert Gallegos told reporters on Sunday. Asked whether investigators consider the killings to be hate crimes, Gallegos said, "Hate is determined by motive, and we don't know that motive at this point. Galba estimated there are 3,000 to 5,000 Muslims living in and around Albuquerque, accounting for about 85% of the entire state's Islamic population. New Mexico State Police, the FBI and the U.S. Marshals Service are among the agencies assisting in the investigation.
Be aware with the World APN Broadcast Service.